Dear Ned, Austria has been wonderful so far. Dad called. He wants me to get an old relic while I'm here, the Book of Apologies, which dates back to the 17th century witch trials in Salem. I'll be going to Mosam Castle to retrieve it before I head back to the States. It's said to be haunted, so I'm expecting some good scares and mysteries. Ever yours, Nancy. Feels like ages since I was on my last adventure. So, are you coming in?
That's all right, Miss Drew. I'd prefer to stay out here.
Why? It's so warm and inviting in here.
Yes, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. All of Judge Sewell's effects are there, just as your father requested. Although, I will tell you, as I told him, the desk is locked, and I don't have the key. But I will gladly stay and answer any questions you have from the other side of this door. I recommend opening the window for some light. There's no electricity here. Well, in that room at least.
Ah, much better. What a wonderful view. Is this Judge Sewell's desk?
Ah, yes. That desk is where he spent most of his time working when he wasn't in court. Custom made. If the Book of Apologies does exist, he would have written it at that desk.
And what's inside this alleged book?
Your father didn't tell you? It was a ledger containing all the names of the accused witches from the Salem witch trials. Judge Sewell had doubts about his convictions, and he wrote the book as a means to make amends.
Allegedly.
Yes.
I found a letter. It's addressed to Abigail Hathorne Woodley.
What does it say?
I do regret to write to you in this state. I have been racked with guilt as my fervency of spirit was too great to determine a conviction just. He asks for her forgiveness, and for God's. What does this mean? What a clever desk. It even comes with a labyrinth. Easy. I found it. It's here.
What? Really? Amazing!
It's locked behind some sort of cage, though. The lock says A.W. Any ideas?
A.W.? No. But I have some tools in the shop that might be able to cut it free. In my shop. I'll go. Meet me there.
Where is that? Hey, wait for me. The Book of Apologies. It's locked.
Nancy! This way!
Where is that? Dr. Hurst?
Nancy Drew, it's Deirdre Shannon.
Deirdre, can I call you back? I'm in the middle of...
Listen, I know we haven't exactly been besties in the past, but I'm in the middle of something big, and
Deirdre, I have to call you back.
Wait, don't hang up on me!
Elizabeth? Elizabeth! Hey! What are you doing? What? The book! They took the book! Stop! Stop running! Gotta move slowly. Come on. No! Gotta figure out which way they went. Must be a clue here. A ticket to Boston. This canister looks to have been used as a homemade smoke bomb. A.W. Same as the desk. Yes, Deirdre. What is it?
You know where I am right now? Salem.
Salem? As in witch trial Salem?
Obvi. Come on, Drew. My cousin has... well, she's gotten into some trouble here, and I thought I could help her out. But it turns out the situation is much more complicated than I anticipated. So now, I'm calling you to ask for some... guidance.
You want my help?
Ugh, yes, don't make this more painful. I could use your professional opinion, okay?
Well, it so happens that the case I'm on is connected to Boston, which is just nearby Salem. And I was never a big believer in coincidences.
Oh, are you sure?
I'd love to.
Seriously?
I thought I had reached a dead end, but it looks like I have to go to Massachusetts anyway. In any case, a fresh perspective would do me good.
Ugh, you're already annoying me, and you're not even here yet.
You're welcome. I think it might even be fun.
Oh, this is so the worst idea I've ever had. I'll pick you up from the airport.
I appreciate you coming here, Drew.
I'm just glad you didn't change your mind and leave me at the airport.
Might have crossed my mind. Keep the excessive cheeriness under control, and we'll be fine.
No promises.
Where were you, by the way?
Austria,
Did I interrupt a vacation with Ned?
didn't you bring me here to help with a case?
Yes, I did. And that's it.
A fire? Was anyone hurt?
Happened in the middle of the night. No one was there, thankfully. The house wasn't completely destroyed, but the person who lived there had to move out. Just so we're clear, this is my case. I know you're a detective and everything, but this is personal. It's family. Well, extended, and from my father's side. But whatever, that's not the point. It's personal. You take my lead, okay?
Of course.
But
Well, I have done this a couple of times, Deirdre. And in my experience, we can cover twice as much ground if we work side by side.
you know, respect your experience and whatever, but family trumps experience. It's sensitive, and I don't want you messing it up by being too
To what?
you. You're a question machine. This requires gentle handling. Delicate.
And that's been your approach.
Well, like I say, I need help.
So, can I ask some questions?
Like anyone could stop you.
Why don't we start with your extended family?
They're cousins. The Perrys. Parry.
Oh, like in fencing.
Yes. Tegan is the older one, May is younger. They had a difficult childhood, okay? And now May is suspected of committing arson on the most important historic mansion in Salem. And I know it's not true. I know it.
What can you tell me about May?
She has a reputation as a troublemaker. Seems like a loner to me. Maybe a bit odd at times. Sometimes she can even sense things before they happen.
Odd how?
I don't know. Troubled teen stuff, difficult time as a kid. Oddest thing is, she won't give an alibi.
That would be seen as suspicious.
That's the problem. Everyone is so suspicious of her. Prejudice, I guess. Because of... well, you'll see.
Sounds like we should talk to her soon.
Where do you think we're going?
What does Tegan think about this?
She's worried about May, obviously. Tegan isn't like May. She's upstanding. She works at the Salem Museum and doesn't know a thing about criminal cases, which is why she contacted me.
One more question. What can you tell me about this historic mansion?
It's called the Hathorn House, and it's old. Like really old. And now it's been set on fire.
Nothing else significant about it?
Well, yeah, a lot of things. But one that's kinda why you're here.
Which is why?
The Hathorn House is haunted.
What do you mean, haunted?
Exactly that. There's ghosts.
Deirdre.
I don't believe it either, Drew. But I can't explain it. Everyone seems to think they exist. With so many sightings, even if it isn't real ghosts, something is definitely going on. I thought that maybe you can disprove them. So, would you please get out of my car and come inside? If we're going to work side by side, you'd better learn to keep up with me.
You must be Nancy. Thank you so much for coming. You know, you live in the same neighborhood for 20 years and you'd expect your neighbors to be a little more understanding when your family is falsely accused of a horrific crime. Oh, I'm sorry. How are you, Deirdre?
I'm good, thanks.
Tegan Perry, welcome to my home. Well, our home, although right now my parents are literally on safari in Namibia, so while their daughter is being convicted of a crime she didn't commit, I'm taking care of things around here. They'll be home soon, hopefully. A very expensive courier is tracking them down in the bush. Top notch, I found him on the internet. Deirdre tells me you'll be assisting her in clearing my sister's name.
Assisting? Yeah.
She's innocent. I don't know why she won't help herself. She's got a difficult reputation. Well, you know, Deirdre, what people here can be like. She doesn't trust easily, not since... I'm sorry, are you hungry? There's clam chowder, homemade. A little taste of New England. I made up the guest bedroom for you, Nancy. Deirdre, sorry, you're bunking with May. Make yourselves at home. Oh, I almost forgot. After you girls get comfortable, you two should swing by the museum. Might as well take in some history while you're here, right? Just don't get suckered into that witch's walking tour. Olivia Ravencroft is not a witch. She would have you believing all kinds of nonsense about the town being full of ghosts.
I thought you two used to be friends.
That was a long time ago. Look, I'm sorry, I gotta get going. Running late to an appointment.
Thanks, Tegan. I appreciate you letting us stay. Before you go, do you have time for a quick question?
Nancy, we just got here.
Sorry, I know you're in a rush. It would really help.
Of course, I have time for one question, if it'll help.
What can you tell me about where the fire happened?
What have you heard about it? Look, I appreciate you want help, but I don't want you dragging all that up and upsetting May. You told me she would be able to reach her. That's not
what Nancy is asking about.
I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. I just thought since the Hathorn house is important to the town, you must know about it. Through the museum.
Oh, I'm so sorry. The Hathorn house fire. Yes, John Hathorn was one of Salem's founders. His large house estate was the oldest surviving structure from 17th century Salem.
Oh, is that all?
That was 2 questions. I said 1. But yes, he was also the big-time judge that presided over the Salem witch trials.
Is there some other fire I need to know about?
No. May's accident was in a fire. I just don't want her getting upset with unnecessary questions about things long over.
I understand.
You can read all about Judge Hathorn when you come to the museum later. Gotta run.
You jerk. Tegan said you've been in town for days, but you haven't come by.
I know. I had to check in with your case at the, Look, I didn't want to bother you. How you holding up?
I've been accused of worse.
No, you haven't.
Hey, at least I got you to get off your butt and finally visit me.
Oh, this is the girl I was telling you about. Nancy Drew.
Nice to meet you. Oh. She really doesn't want to talk. This could be difficult. Any advice?
Do better? I'll be in the kitchen. Are you ready to leave yet? We don't have all day.
What were you actually doing before you picked me up from the airport?
What do you mean?
You gave May a non-answer when she asked why it took you so long to stop by here.
A non-answer? Yeah, because I went to the police station.
And
They're still going through the evidence. And when they found out I was May's cousin, they started laughing.
so they think she did it.
Everyone does. So, I went to check out the Hathorn house myself. But I never went inside.
The ghost?
What? No. There was some weirdo there who told me the ghost was going to steal my soul. It was totally creepy. And then I found out that everyone in this town believes in ghosts, so I didn't enter.
Well, whatever or whoever it is, there's an explanation behind it. Did the police give you anything? Anything at all?
They told me there's a Judge Danforth in town, and he's going over the particulars of the Hathorn House estate. I found his office, but he kinda never let me enter his office. Believe me, I tried.
I know him. Not well, but enough to get through his door and have a conversation.
All right, are we going into town or what?
Sure.
Who could gain something by burning down a house? Insurance claim, maybe?
Possibly. Means, motive, and opportunity. We need to start interviewing. See if anyone checks off those 3 boxes.
And in your experience?
It's usually something much more personal. This tour sounds interesting.
Don't tell Tegan that's your plan.
It'll give us a good overview of the town.
You mean I want to meet the real witch of Salem?
Yeah, I do. She might know something. I wonder why Tegan doesn't like her.
You don't have to investigate everything, Drew. Olivia steals Tegan's visitors, sounds like. You really want to do the dumb tour?
You don't have to come with me.
Side by side. Gotta be honest, it does sound more fun than the museum.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah?
Do you mind if I look around the house?
Ugh, you're so weird. I'm done talking, okay?
Rust be gone. Now that's handy. Never know when a bit of stubborn iron oxide will get in the way of investigating. Found it. The Perrys recycle their paper waste. Good on them. Wait, what's this? Someone must have been upset. They tore this note up. Yes, it is a note. But why tear it up like this? The neighborhood looks peaceful from up here. Huh. Huh? I probably shouldn't be in May's room without an invitation. Ned! Hi.
Nance, how have you been? Thanks for finally picking up.
Sorry, I've been on a flight.
Busy on another case, huh? You know, you should really enjoy yourself more, Nance. Life's too short to be working all the time.
This isn't work for me. It's fun. Besides, crime doesn't take a vacation. Speaking of which, how's yours?
Ned, come on.
Yeah, 1 second.
Sounds like you're having fun.
You know, standard fare. Nothing too crazy. I miss you, Nance.
I miss you,
Hey, give it back.
too.
Nancy, I'll call you later.
Call you later, Nancy.
Well, that was... yeah.
I think we should head right for the judge. What do you think?
Sounds good. Let's go meet the judge.
Yeah, let's go.
story of the witches of Salem. Those poor souls were caught in a time of fear and greed, and they paid the price. They may have died, but witchcraft lives on in Salem.
Oh, this should be interesting.
The world would have you believe witches were not real. I'm not talking about old, ugly women who curse their neighbors and fly on broomsticks. The truth is, witches are real. They have always been real. They are alive and well. They are powerful, carrying the secrets of the world beyond the one we see. Ritual, mystery, magic. Most exist now only in secret, and they may be standing among you even now. It is said that in Salem, a coven of witches settled in recent years, set on revenge for the deaths of the Salem witches. Their ritual, one midnight on Halloween, unleashed the angry spirits of the past.
So cool.
Do that. Thank you. Now, if any of you are interested in the real history of the witches of Salem, I provide self-guided tours through some of my favorite locations in town. And perhaps you too will see one of the restless dead.
A thief in Austria used the same kind of stage magic she's using.
Thief? There was a thief? What were you doing there?
Visiting a spooky old castle. You'd have liked it.
Do you regularly fly to Europe for investigations?
Sometimes.
And if you want to learn about being a witch, come forward. Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Me? Never. Well, nothing too bad, I hope.
Did you know that in the Malleus Maleficarum, ginger hair was the sign of a witch? You're my kind of people.
I'm not nearly as talented as you are.
Aw, shucks. You're making me blush. Oh, there it is. Now I'm turning red. You truly are a witch.
So to become a witch, do I need to take a test or get a diploma?
A true witch is not made with pieces of paper. She is born to it and will feel the call. Bureaucracy is for persecutors. We don't need permission. We don't live by the rules. Anyway, what can I help you with?
How did you perform that trick?
A witch never reveals her secrets. It's against the witch code.
A code? I thought bureaucracy and rules were for persecutors.
Although, if you take my self-guided tour, I promise you will learn at least one secret about being a witch.
How often do you do this show?
Most nights. It gets busier around Halloween, and I'm sure you can figure out why.
How about the night that the Hathorn house was burned?
You look a little young to be working for the police, dear.
Oh no, it's nothing like that. We're just curious tourists.
Good, because I've already spoken with them.
And so, you were here.
I was out of town. Did you girls know that Salem is haunted? There's a ghost here. If you go on my tour, you'll learn where you can find it.
Have you lived in Salem for long?
Born and raised.
So you know the Perrys?
Of course. Not well. If you were looking for them, Tegan is at the museum. She works there.
Not well. We're staying with Tegan. I figured there was some history between you two.
That was a long time back. We don't talk much now.
And May?
Yes, I know her too. Not spoken to her for a long time either.
But you've heard the rumors about her.
May is a troubled girl. And sometimes such girls get blamed for things that were not their... I don't think she burned down the Hathorn house, if that's what you're trying to get at. People with mundane minds look for mundane explanations.
Do you really believe some modern witch coven unleashed ghosts on Salem?
About 8 years back, there were rumors of a coven. That they performed a ritual to return the dead witches to Salem to seek out their revenge before the witches moved on.
Is there any evidence of such a coven?
Ever since then, ghost sightings have gone through the roof. Salem is now considered the most haunted place in the country.
Interesting.
You think it's a coincidence that the former home of the Hathorns was set on fire?
How else could the fire have started?
I heard there was not a single living soul in the house when it started burning. Keyword, living. The world is composed of two equal parts, dark and light. The light we see every day. It's the trees, the people, the birds. It's our world. You can even see it at night. The dark is the unknown. A plane of existence that vibrates just underneath the light. But if you were in a place like Salem, a place where a painful history permeates every surface, every crack, every brick, and every tomb, the dark will appear. Usually when you least expect it. That's why they say, don't be out past midnight in Salem, because the dark may reach out and take you. Also, did you know that Salem has more ghost sightings than any other city in North America? If you want to learn why, you should go on my tour.
Talk to you later.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Talk to you later.
The museum is over there, across the square. That's where we can get the Real Witches tour tickets. The judge's office is in that building. If we want to go see him first, dive into the case, I think we should head right for the judge. What do you think?
Sounds good. Let's go meet the judge.
Yeah, let's go.
A specter may be hanging over Salem, but that doesn't keep the town from getting into the Halloween spirit. A specter may be hanging.
Why are there protesters in a small town like this?
Hey, what are you doing?
He's a judge, Deirdre. He's not gonna bite. Hello? Judge Danforth.
Yeah, hello. Ted? Is that you?
Ted?
No, Your Honor. My name is Nancy Drew. I think you've spoken with my father.
Nancy Drew? Carson's daughter?
Yes, and I'm with my friend Deirdre Shannon. We're investigating the arson of the Hathorn house.
Ah, yes, yes.
Can we come in?
Well, you see, no, I mean, I'd let you in, but I seem to have been locked in my office and I need some help getting out.
I was hoping we could talk about the Hathorn house case.
Yes, it's a terrible tragedy for our town, but let's table that discussion for later, okay? I'd like to get out of my office first.
I wanted to talk to you about the Book of Apologies. You know, the book in Austria. At the Mosam Castle.
Yes, Nancy, I would love to talk about it, but I would really love if we could do it in person, face to face, as opposed to through this door.
Do you know where I could find a key to your office?
Yes, I believe I gave a copy of the key to Alicia Cole as backup. She's just down the hall. I hope she's still here.
Can I help you?
Hi, so sorry to bother you at this hour, but we're here to meet with Judge Danforth, and he seems to be locked inside his office.
He said you might have a key.
Sorry, I gave him my spare. Unbelievable. Does this ever end?
Oh, well then, do you have a paperclip?
Yeah. And if you don't mind me asking, what business do you two have with the judge?
We're helping the judge with a case.
Anything I can assist you with?
Thanks, But I think we got it. No need for a lawyer. At least, not yet.
The diploma gave me away, huh?
Aside from the cold coffee you're still drinking and the deluxe open box of sticky tabs, yeah, you could say I know the type really well.
Nancy Drew, you really are your father's daughter. It's nice to finally meet you.
You know my dad?
Small world. If you need any assistance or more paper clips, feel free to ask.
Hello? Judge Danforth. I'll come back later. Judge Danforth? I couldn't find your key.
What? Alicia said she'd keep a copy for me.
Well, I did find a paperclip. I think I can pick your lock, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure, fine.
Efficient. How'd you learn to do that, actually?
Online video tutorial.
Someday you have to tell me about your secret life of breaking and entering, Drew. Because you're in danger of being cool. Which, honestly, I just don't like.
Someday.
Ah, those protesters are out there again, stirring the pot. You know, this town used to be a quiet place. But it seems lately there's been an element that has infiltrated our community. I have no doubt one of those troublemakers locked my door and threw away the key. Now, Nancy, your father and I have discussed.
Oh, sorry. I'm not Nancy.
Of course you're not. You look nothing like Carson. Did your father ever tell you about the time we won 4th place at the Lake Winnipesaukee Regatta? You see, at the time I had 20/10 vision, so I was the navigator and...
Judge, this is Deirdre Shannon. She's working with me on the case.
Deirdre, you're the one who tried to break down my door.
Breakdown?
Your Honor, that's an exaggeration. I was knocking. Heavily.
Look, I'm really busy dealing with this Hathorn House business. Being a judge is not as simple as, you know, investigating during your free time.
Well, we just used our free time to unlock your door. So I'm sure you'll be willing to repay us with some answers to our questions. Right?
Yes, of course. What can I help you girls with?
Can you explain to us how you're involved with the Hathorn House?
Well, yes. The house was built by Judge John Hathorn during the 1600s, and it represented the oldest surviving structure from that era. Judge Hathorn, of course, was one of the 3 judges that presided over the Salem witch trials.
Yes, and I'm sure we can read all about the home's history in Salem's museum.
More recently, Francis Tuttle, Judge Hathorn's last direct descendant, lived in a small section of the house while the rest was left to fall into considerable disrepair. She was alone, except for a part-time caregiver, Lauren Holt, who had a bedroom in the carriage house. A few months ago, Francis Tuttle passed away, which left Hathorn House without a legal heir. According to the historical statutes of Salem, after 90 days, the house reverts to public property, the deadline of which is 2 days from now, at midnight.
I was told that the burning of Hathorn House is suspected to be a case of arson. How did the police come to that conclusion?
The investigation found paint solvent residue on burnt embers, suggesting someone deliberately used an accelerant. Thankfully, Mrs. Tuttle never had to see what became of her home.
And what evidence do you have that May Perry is the one responsible for this?
Evidence? Have you ever heard of recidivism? 3 out of 4 criminals in the United States are repeat offenders. And there's only one person in all of Salem who has a history of fire-related crime.
So, there is no evidence.
Not yet, but there will be.
You don't need evidence. She's already been convicted in the court of public opinion.
Is that what she said?
No, I'm saying it.
She has a history with this sort of thing.
What's May's motive? What does she gain by burning down the Hathorn house?
You'd have to ask her, and while you're at it, you can ask about her alibi, which she refused to give to the police. So, any other questions?
So the Book of Apologies. Why did you really need it?
Yes, and first of all, I'm so glad you're all right. Nasty business. Had I known you were going to be put in harm's way, I would have never called Carson and asked for his help.
I've done plenty of work for my father. He trusts me. I can handle myself.
Yes, I'm sure you can.
So I've already heard some stories, but would you mind giving me your version of why the book is important?
Yes, so... Judge Sewell was rumored to keep a ledger of all the accused, intending to publish it to reconcile with their families and clear their names. But he passed away before he could do so.
Going to Austria for a rumored book seems like a heck of a long shot.
Well, I have been under some pressure from the AW group. AW as in accused witches.
Don't you think it's dangerous throwing around May's name as a suspect before any evidence links her to the crime?
What do you mean? What are you saying?
From what you've described, there is no evidence against May. Yet you were saying that she did it. As a judge, I think you would be the first to admit that sounds prejudicial.
It is not just me, Miss Drew. There are plenty of people who believe that May is responsible for this crime. It is not prejudice when she is the only likely suspect.
Actually, that is the definition of prejudice.
I'm not going to have this debate with you. Is there anything else?
So, how did Frances Tuttle pass away exactly?
The woman was 88 years old. The coroner confirmed her death was of natural causes.
So they never investigated Lauren Holt.
You need the suspicion of foul play to investigate someone, young lady.
We'd like to speak with her all the same.
She still lives on the estate, although for how much longer we do not know. You can also find her in her shop, Luminous Infusions. She might be willing to talk to you.
Talk to you later.
Miss Drew, before you go, there is something else I need your help with.
You're not locked out of your car, are you?
Oh, no. There was an incident here recently. Someone broke into the evidence room.
Oh. Have you called the police?
Well, no, not yet. I don't think anything was taken. Never mind. I'll call the police. Thank you for your time.
That group is really chanting up a storm. What has them so angry?
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice!
The road has completely collapsed into the sinkhole. No wonder they closed it off. The ground is still crumbling.
Hey! Sorry about the mess. We're in the middle of installing a big showcase. So what have you seen in town so far?
We decided to do the Real Witches tour.
Oh. You talked to Olivia.
What's with her getup? Witch? Street magician, maybe?
Everyone has to make a living. Is she telling the story about a coven living here in the recent past?
Yeah. Why?
Just bad taste.
Olivia is quite the local character. I hope you don't mind if we do the tour. I want to see more of the town, and finding out a place's old superstitions is kind of a habit I've gotten into. I'm excited to look around the museum.
Of course. How's the investigating going? Any progress with May?
I've got some leads. I haven't had much progress with May, though. I was wondering if I could ask you a couple of questions, if you have time.
Sure thing. How can I help?
What's this new showcase about?
Yes, this new showcase is going to be really cool. Just in time for Halloween, you know?
But what is it about?
If you come back on Halloween, I'll show you.
Can I show you something? I found this letter at your house, and I'm curious who wrote it.
Let me see it.
Do you recognize it?
No, I don't. Were you digging through our trash?
I saw it. Couldn't help myself. What can I say? I love a good puzzle.
It's trash. Can you keep your assistant out of my garbage?
She's not my...
Assistant isn't really the right word.
I can think of others.
Fine. Anything else?
Nancy doesn't let any details slip by her, no matter how mundane. And that just might be what we need to help May.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what it is. I've never seen it before. Could be one of May's weird friends from school, for all I know. Okay?
I thought she didn't really have any friends.
Well, I don't know who wrote it, okay?
So what's the deal with these pumpkins?
Oh, yeah. I've prepared some pumpkins that visitors can carve and bring with them to place around Salem. Feel free to give it a try if you want. It's really fun and completely free.
Talk to you later. Closed off. Looks like they're preparing a new installation. Done. This looks great. Now to find a nice place to put it. The figure of a Puritan woman accused of being a witch. These were ordinary people, just like anyone else. Darn, missed the opening hours. Better luck tomorrow.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Talk to you later. This tour sounds interesting.
Welcome on my tour.
Thank you. The road has
Oh there, watch your step. In recent years, these maws into the deep unknown have opened. There was once a vast network of tunnels beneath Salem, used by smugglers during the Prohibition era. Most would have you believe that these tunnels are now collapsing. But you have to wonder if there could be something more sinister behind these sudden maws into the underworld.
What do we want?
bore the remains of Salem's most zealous and conniving judge. So lacking in morals was Judge Hathorn, that he sentenced innocents to death while claiming the estates of the dead as his own. Unlike the more remorseful Judge Sewell, Hathorn never felt any guilt for his part in the Salem witch trials. Before you stands Abigail Hathorn, helping the accused witches escape the grasp of her own brother, Judge Hathorn himself. Abigail freed many from their holding cells until the judge caught her in the act and locked her up in a cell deep within the Hathorn house. The statue was given the name Little Liberty in honor of her valiant efforts to free the innocent.
Huh.
These headstones bear names lost to history, but some believe they belong to those sentenced for witchcraft. A condemned witch was forbidden from being buried on consecrated grounds, but many victims were buried by loved ones in secrecy, and some may have found their eternal rest beneath these unmarked graves. Through these woods lies the infamous Hathorn estate. It was common during the Salem witch trials that the lands of the accused were taken and resold for cheap. The judge himself bought many such lands, and on them built his grand estate. The Hathorn house has since come to represent all the wrongs that were inflicted during the trials.
Not yet. There are some more things I'd like to look into before I'm done.
Come on, Drew.
The Salem Museum, known formerly as the Town Hall. Not only a great resource for the Salem witch trials, it also holds records of other interesting facets of our local history. Anyone visiting Salem does well to seek out the forbidden knowledge hidden in these halls. It was a time of horror, when the witches who walked the earth were wrongfully prosecuted and thus stripped of everything. These are the ghosts you'll find here in Salem. Their homes taken, their knowledge destroyed, their lives erased.
Okay, I'm officially exhausted. Let's head back to the Perry house, okay?
So, any thoughts?
First album was better.
Yeah, totally. It's good.
Really? You like this?
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, well, they were much better before they changed their bassist.
I meant the case. What do you think about it?
I don't like the judge.
Yeah, I kinda got that. I think the feeling's mutual.
Well, he's a jerk. Maybe he burned down the Hathorn house. What? You don't think so?
I really need to talk to May before I lean in any direction.
And you will, once you've gained her trust. Why haven't you done that yet?
Because I'm in the car talking to you. If May were willing to give an alibi, we could clear this up tonight. She's not talking to anyone, it seems. We are all allowed to enjoy some amount of privacy, but her refusal to be interviewed leads me to believe she is hiding something.
I can't believe you, Drew. I thought you were here to help. You know, not everyone can be as brilliant and cold as you are.
I'm not cold. And I never said I was brilliant either.
You need to get May to trust you. If she trusts you, she'll open up and tell you the truth. And then you'll see. You're kind of my last hope to reach her. You're good at finding ways to get people to open up. Usually. So find a way.
I'll try. Hi. Hey, what are you listening to?
You like this?
Yeah, we were listening on the way over. First album was much better. Yeah, too bad they changed bassists.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just, you don't look like you listen to this music.
Why does no one believe me?
Now you know how I feel.
May, I know you don't know me that well, but I'm here to help you.
I didn't burn down the Hathorn house.
Okay. Why does everyone think you did?
It's called prejudice. I look different. Or something like that.
That doesn't seem like a good reason to burn down a building.
What can I say? People are stupid. I believe it's gone.
Did you ever visit the estate?
All the time. I appreciated it.
Oh? Why? Because it's historically significant?
It was built by a cold, brutal man who sent a bunch of people to their death because he didn't understand them. I appreciate being reminded of what happens when greedy people stay in charge.
Did you know Frances Tuttle very well?
No. But I know her daughter Lauren has that shop, Luminous Infusions.
You ever been inside?
No, why would I go there?
I was just wondering if you knew her.
I don't. I mean, I know she used to hang with my sister back in the day. But I guess they fell out or something, that's all I know.
Look, I spoke with the judge. They don't have anything on you. All we need is an alibi, and then they can't charge you with anything.
And they're not going to have anything on me. Because he can't prove I did it.
Then why not just give the police an alibi? That's all they need.
I just can't. It's not only about me, okay?
Okay, I understand. But I can't help you or anyone else if I don't know who they are.
Just, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I can't.
Do you and the judge know each other? Have a history?
The man thinks I'm a bad influence.
Why?
Because I used to be friends with his son. His son has had an interesting life, and he thinks it's my fault. He holds a grudge against me.
Really? That sounds surprising.
You live in a small town long enough, people make up their minds about who you are. Doesn't matter if it's true or not, it just is.
Can you tell me anything about Olivia Ravencroft? Anything at all?
I can tell you she doesn't get along with my sister.
Really? Why?
I don't know. They had some falling out a while ago. You should ask her.
Do you think Olivia would have any reason to light the Hathorn house on fire?
Let me put it this way. Olivia is what we call in this town part of the witch business. Anything dramatic, spectacular, or with fire, she's usually involved.
So you think she did it?
I didn't say that. I just think it's possible that she could have.
Okay, thanks. Your sister really cares about you.
She has a strange way of showing it sometimes.
Well, she cared enough to get Deirdre and I involved.
I worry about her.
How come?
She takes her work really seriously. Like, she cares. A lot. Like, way more than most normal people do for their passion projects. It's not a hobby, it's more like something she has to do.
Kinda sounds like me.
I hope not. It's like her personal crusade, like only she can make it better or something. You can't live your life like that. You need to enjoy it. Enjoy it with people you love.
Yeah, believe me, I know. I'll come back later. Hi. We saw Tegan at the museum. Looks like she's working on an interesting installation.
Why don't you ask her?
Well, I thought you might have an opinion, or...
I don't. Can you just leave her out of this? I don't want her being involved with my problems.
So, I found this letter.
What is that?
I found it in your trash. It says, I know.
Yeah, I can read.
So?
So I don't know what it is. Don't go through my trash. I'm done talking, okay?
Well?
She's protecting something. Or someone.
Okay, yeah, obvi. But what?
I don't know yet. I'm getting through to her, though. We have to go to the Hathorn house. Tonight.
Tonight? Like, in the dark?
Yeah. Do you have flashlights?
You do remember what I told you about that place, right?
You know what? Better idea. I'll go. You stay here and see if maybe May feels like talking to you.
Be careful out there, Drew.
There's no such thing as ghosts, Deirdre. I'll be fine.
No, not ghosts. People swear there's something in that house. Too many people believe it to not be true. Could be a wild animal or a toxic waste dump, I don't know. Just keep your guard up, okay?
Wow, that was really sweet.
All right, let's not hug or anything. You should check in with Lauren Holt. She still lives up there. Take the keys from my car. It's way too far of a walk all the way there. And remember, things happen after midnight in Salem. Be careful.
Not creepy. Not at all. Frank!
Nancy, you sound excited.
Yeah, well, guess where I am right now.
I, wouldn't even begin to.
Salem, Massachusetts.
Joe, how the heck did you guys know?
We read about the Hathorn house in the Globe. Suspected arson.
Your name was mentioned. Not as a suspect, obviously. Tegan Perry mentioned she had hired you to investigate.
Hired? Huh. That's news to me. I came here as a favor for Deirdre.
Deirdre Shannon?
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, it's a strange case all around. So, what can I help you guys with?
Well, we're working this case, and a few legal questions have arisen.
My father would probably be more helpful than me, guys.
Yeah, well, we'd prefer to call you because of, you know, history.
What my brother is trying to say is that there are some similarities to an old case we worked on.
Sure. If you want to send me your notes, I can look them over for you.
Great. That's great.
Salem's pretty close to Boston. If you guys have the time, you should come up here and check it out while I'm in town.
Really? Yeah. It would be good to catch up.
I don't know, Nancy. With our special detective powers, we might be mistaken for witches. Heard they don't fare well up there.
Are you kidding me? They love you guys. Did you know that Salem is the only police force that has a witch as an official emblem?
I don't think that's true.
I'll bet you on it.
Okay, you're on. I'll take payment when we arrive in Salem. Maybe in a week or so.
A week?
Hopefully I won't be here then. But if you can make it up earlier, great.
Good talking to you, Nance.
Yeah, same to you two. Bye. Creepy. These snapdragons are lovely. At least some of them survived the fire.
What are you doing here?
Are you Lauren Holt?
You're trespassing. This is private property. I'm giving you one chance to explain yourself.
I need to speak with Lauren Holt.
So, what?
Well, I wanted to talk to her about Frances Tuttle.
Why? Did you know her or something?
No, but I want to.
She was a great woman.
I believe it. She was the former owner of this place, right?
Yeah. You can come in.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew.
Lauren Holt. But you knew that. T?
Please, you've lived here a while?
Since I was 11. Ever since Frances. Sorry. Still hurts. She was very special to me. So... You're here because why again?
I'm investigating the fire.
For whom, exactly?
A cousin of the Perrys. It seems like everyone thinks she did it, but there's no evidence.
The Perrys are complicated.
Do you think May did it?
Maybe. I don't know. Used to feel sorry for her, but I don't know what she's capable of now. Or Tegan, or both of them. The Perrys look out for themselves, and no one else. Always have. Sorry, I've just been under a lot of stress lately. I don't mean to sound like that. Anyway, what do you want to know?
Is Luminous Infusions your shop?
Yes.
What do you do there? Just curious.
It's a tea room and modern apothecary. You know, before there was a pharmacist, the town relied on an herbalist to provide medicines for headaches and sickness and energy and stuff like that.
Interesting. Did Frances Tuttle teach you this?
No, I taught myself.
Oh, cool. What can you tell me about the history of the Hathorn House?
Built by Judge John Hathorn in 1695, the man flat out stole the land from the people he sentenced to death. Property has changed hands many times over the years, with Francis Tuttle being the most recent owner.
I really do appreciate you talking to me.
It's hard. Look, I don't really know who set fire to the house, but I know that I want to stay here. It means something to me. It's the only home I've ever had.
What were you doing 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago? Why? The house was burned a week ago.
Different case. Might be related.
I was in my shop, like I was every night.
Anyone see you?
Tourists. No one who is still in town, but I have sales receipts to prove it. You come by Luminous Infusions, and I'll show you.
Have you looked for the will?
Of course, but I can't find it. Believe me, I've tried to find it, and now the judge has given me days to deliver or the town will take control. I don't have a copy, but I know one exists. Frances told me all the time that the Hathorn House and its grounds would be mine if something ever happened to her. She knew that I would take care of this place better than anyone else.
What happens to you?
I won't be here anymore. But I have representation, a professional lawyer. Her name's Alicia Cole. She's helping me out.
So, I saw the ghost out in the cemetery.
The scarecrow?
Yeah, I've heard there were ghosts out here, but all I saw was that.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I've seen a lot of weird things. So far, I've yet to find one without a rational explanation.
Then there's nothing to talk about.
But why does everyone think there are ghosts out here?
A town this old is bound to have some unbelievable stories.
So you've seen one?
You don't live here. You wouldn't understand.
So you have?
I'm getting a little tired. I think we've talked enough, don't you?
Of course. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. What the? Whoever is doing this, you're not frightening me away. Not possible. That's not possible.
Curse not the darkness.
It's not real. It's not real.
Drew! What's going on? You weren't answering your phone. What's wrong?
I saw it. Her. I guess it could have been him too. It was too confusing to really make out.
What are you talking about?
The ghost, Deirdre. The ghost at Hathorn House. The one you were talking about. I saw it.
Wow. Never thought you'd try to pull a joke like this. I underestimated you. This is a really good performance. Very un-Nancy Drew-like.
It's not a joke. Deirdre, I saw her. Didn't you want me to see it? Didn't you want me to look into it?
Well, yeah, but I didn't think for a second that you would. I guess I thought you'd go up there and find smoke and mirrors or whatever it is you do. You're saying it's real?
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not used to being so freaked out.
Wait, you didn't leave my car out there, did you?
What? No. I've calmed down enough to drive back. It's outside.
Good. I could get you more chowder.
Don't think it'll help. I need answers.
Okay, so let's go through it.
I do find working a mystery strangely calming. Okay. I don't know how to explain it, but I saw something.
I don't know what to tell you, Drew. It's as weird as moonchunk cheese ice cream and sandals with socks. But my instinct is
that the two are related. The fire and the ghosts.
Right. You're not buying Olivia's story that some coven of witches came here to unleash ghosts to take revenge by burning it down, though. Right?
Right, I think. It's unlikely anyway.
You really think what you saw was real?
It's worse than that. I think in order to know, I need to see it again, and you need to come with me. Tomorrow.
Okay, and then we can plan road trips to find Bigfoot and aliens and the Loch Ness Monster.
Hey, sounds fun to me. I found out something interesting from Lauren Holt. Did you know that Francis Tuttle had a will?
Judge Danforth never mentioned that.
Because they can't find it, they assume it doesn't exist.
So if it does exist, Lauren would get the estate.
Yeah. Oh, and that Lord Alicia Cole represents her.
How's that working out for her?
There doesn't seem to be much progress made.
Yeah, well, without a will, what could she really do?
It's been a long day. I think I'm just gonna call it a night.
You do look kinda... Well, maybe don't video chat with the boyfriend. At least not until you get the twigs out of your hair.
I appreciate your concern. Hey.
What? You want that chowder now? The offer expired.
I was going to say, we make a pretty good team.
See? That's proof right there. You are definitely hallucinating.
There's always an explanation. Gotta remember that.
What is the town of Greenwich, New York?
Sorry?
They have a witch on their emblem.
We won!
Really?
Sending you a pic. When can we expect payment?
That's a fire department logo. I said police.
Public safety. It's all the same. A technicality.
There's something I have to get off my chest. I saw a ghost.
Sorry, what?
This case. I've never seen anything like it. It felt real. I can't explain it.
What is it? What's wrong?
Hold on. Say no more. It just so happens that ghost hunting is our specialty.
Wait, what?
We're not passing on a chance like this. Be there before you know it.
Only if you really want to. Talk to you later. Yeah?
Good morning, sunshine.
What time is it?
It's early. Hurry up, get dressed, and meet me downstairs. I have something to cheer you up.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, not good, not good, not good!
What are you guys doing in here?
They're trying their best to unimpress me. Mission accomplished.
Nancy! Hi! Joe was just, making an effort.
Oh, that's what that smell is.
I tried showing him the ropes, but he wants to prove he can do it without my help.
Tegan set out the ingredients for Johnny cakes before she had to run, but I gotta admit, it's been a while since I last whipped something up. Successfully.
Oh, I love Johnny cakes. I can help.
Of course you can. All right, Hardy, step down before we have another fire on our hands.
All right, let's see. Step 1. 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar. This can't be right.
I told you I couldn't keep up with her, so I improvised. I'm 100% certain about the amounts, though.
Let's approach this sensibly. What do we need? One spoon of sugar.
We're getting there.
1 spoon of sugar.
I think you've got it.
1 teaspoon of salt.
We're getting there.
1 cup of flour.
I think you've got it.
1 cup of cornmeal.
We're getting there.
1 spoon of baking powder.
Looks right to me. That looks great. Let's tackle the next step.
All right, second step. We have to fill the bowl until the weight is just right.
Quick heads up. This is about where things started to go south last time.
Hey! Let's just trust that Nancy knows what she's doing.
That looks great. Let's tackle the next step. Finally, my favorite part.
I thought your favorite part was eating.
My next favorite part.
Dear goodness.
Joe, could you help me pour while I flip?
Sure thing. This is going great. I think.
Only a few more.
Here comes some more. All done. They look super tasty. Let's eat.
Ooh, these smell delicious.
Great job, Nancy.
These look amazing.
Okay. May, these are the Hardy brothers, Frank and Joe.
We're very interested in your case.
Uh-huh. They're good friends of mine. They're going to help us with the investigation. The more people we have working on this, the better chance we have of solving the case.
Cool.
Joe, you need to learn how to cook. Maybe let Frank teach you. Otherwise, how are you going to impress anyone?
Solving crimes impresses people.
So does committing them. What? It's true. Not saying I'm impressed by that. Just stating a fact. I prefer someone who possesses a deep intellectual appreciation and table manners.
You want to be impressed? We should finally show her our business plan for our new business. What? It's very businessy.
What? What is it?
Well, Joe and I have been talking recently about making things a bit more official. Since we're always called to solve crimes, we thought that maybe we should start getting paid for it.
We're starting our very own detective agency. License, insurance, the whole thing. And
we want to know if you'd be interested in being a partner.
A partner?
Hey, table that. All right, Drew. Why not update everyone on where we're at?
So, I guess you're wondering about the thing I mentioned.
Yes, sounds super exciting.
I already told them about the whole sighting.
Yeah, I can't explain it. Yet.
Even with the most modern scientific techniques available, there are many phenomena that we still cannot explain. I believe what you saw was real.
What?
What?
Sure, some sort of combination of gaseous blow-off and light refraction.
No, supernatural. A ghost, a real ghost, with thoughts and memory and agency.
I'm not so sure.
I just built some new equipment that I'd love to try out.
I'm sure it's nothing, but we'll go to the cemetery today and investigate anyway. Maybe we can add ghost hunting to our detective services. Kidding.
One thing I'd like to do today is check the town archives.
If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to handle this you were gonna look into the history of ownership of the Hathorn house, right?
Yeah, sure. We can go together.
No. It's better if I handle this solo. I'm a whiz with microfiche. Don't ask me why.
Sounds like a story.
And I'm not going to tell it to you, okay?
So, Nancy, what do you think we should focus on for the investigation?
The arson that happened last week.
And we haven't had the chance to collect any alibis yet.
We need to ask everyone we've met where they were on the night of the arson. Corroborating their answers with whomever they were with will help bring into focus who is and isn't a suspect. Judge Danforth mentioned that he was the victim of a burglary.
What was stolen?
We don't know.
The judge was working with Tegan on developing a case for the Accused Witches organization.
The what?
The descendants of the accused witches of the 1692 Salem witch trials. They're staking a claim to the Hathorn estate due to unjust dispossession and execution of their ancestors. It's one of the reasons I searched for the Book of Apologies in Austria, as it contains a record of wronged families. But someone swiped it from right under my nose. And around the time of the arson, there was a burglary at the judge's office.
Too coincidental not to be connected.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'd like to review the crime scene at the courthouse for any clues.
The judge might not let you do that. He didn't sound very forthcoming.
True. But maybe my father can convince him. They're old friends. I can give him a call.
All right. What else?
We need to figure out how the theft from Mosem Castle is connected to this case.
Theft of what?
The Book of Apologies. My dad asked me to retrieve it from Mosam Castle in Austria, as a favor for Judge Danforth, who works here in Salem. It details all the victims of the witch trials, some of which are still unknown to this day.
However, this book was stolen as well, 3 days ago, when Nancy was there.
Why was this book all the way in Austria?
Great question.
The resident historian told me the judge who wrote the book willed all his belongings to be preserved by whichever museum would have them at the time. That must be how it ended up in an Austrian castle, for safekeeping.
Well, that certainly didn't stop the thief, whoever it is.
I can ask around about alibis during this time period as well. See if anyone in town can't be accounted for. Might point us in the right direction.
I have something to add. Whoever is responsible for this crime is going to great lengths to cover it up. We don't know if these people are dangerous. Remember that. And be careful.
Hey, are you feeling any better about the case?
Nope.
We're going to find out who did this, May. I promise.
If you say so. Look, thanks for breakfast. I just want to say, I know you're trying to help, but I think you're wasting your time.
You said you used to hang out at the Hathorn house, right?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see anything strange when you were there?
Like ghosts?
Yeah.
No, never.
Oh, okay. Do you feel ready to talk about your alibi?
I don't even have a passport. I don't go anywhere, so I wasn't in Austria, if that's what you're thinking.
And on the night of the arson? Giving us your alibi would help you so much. People tell me there's a good reason to suspect you, but no one can say why.
Isn't it obvious? I've got a burn mark covering the entire side of my face and like most of my arms. It must be me.
I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry if people judge you for your burns.
I prefer it to pity.
Would you tell me what happened?
There was a fire. I was in it.
I'm not trying to pry. It's just that so far, the main cause for suspecting you of the Hathorn fire seems to be this previous one. I only want to understand.
I was 9. It was an old shed, and I wasn't supposed to play in it. It was kind of a den full of stuff, like candles. I got stuck inside. You can work out the rest.
So it was an accident. You were just a kid. Harsh to suspect you now because of something you didn't mean to happen.
Don't make me talk about it more.
Okay. Thank you for telling me, May. Talk to you later.
You're here.
Yes, I am. This shop is really cool. I love the decor.
Thank you. It's taken a lot of years to get it the way I want.
I kind of imagined this is what an actual witch's shop would look like.
Yeah.
Seriously. You have all these herbs. Look, St. John's wort, mandrake root. You know, witches were just synonymous with people who used the old medieval ways of working with plants and animals, curing ills. They were healers, shamans, and confessors. You can see why some people might have been threatened by them.
I know, right? No leeches here, though. I draw the line at bloodsuckers. I'm glad you get it. A lot of people around here don't.
How so?
Some say I'm cashing in, not respecting history. People get so caught up in the death and judgment. But I was always interested in all of that lost knowledge, even as a kid.
I bet a lot of kids around here are fascinated by it.
Used to be.
You get a lot of people in? Maybe May Perry?
May. That's funny.
Why?
Look, she's had a hard time. She's not the only one. I've been the kid everyone looks at. You need friends to talk to. She doesn't want any.
She has her sister. Tegan cares about her.
Tegan protects what's important to Tegan. Sometimes that's May.
What kind of herbs do you have here?
The kind that helps people ease their burdens. Since cold season started, business has been booming. Between managing the shop itself and preparing remedies, it's getting harder to keep up.
I don't mind lending you a hand with preparing the remedies, if that's okay with you. I love learning new things.
This is delicate work. But you do seem to have an interest in herbology. Sure, it would be fun to pass on the basics at least. I'll be around the shop and manage the counter. Just let me know when you have something finished and I'll take a look at it.
Great. So, where do I begin?
I've prepared the patient notes already. You can find them on the counter. You can use my reference book to study the herbs and what ailments they cure, and the basics of remedy mixing.
Okay. This is gonna be so much fun. These are the notes she took when discussing the ailments with her patients. Need to figure out the proper mix of herbs to cure these. This book looks really worn. The knowledge must be centuries old, if not more.
No, Nancy, please don't touch that. It's private.
Oh, it's locked?
Yeah, I lost the key to that one, sorry. It has to be somewhere around here. I would never bring it home with me. Let me know if you find it.
Our Lady's Thistle. Our Lady's Thistle. Garlic. Chamomile. Sage. Feverfew. Ginger. Cinnamon. Ginger. Chamomile. Feverfew. Cinnamon. Ginger. Sage. Garlic. Chamomile.
Look at that. Your first proper herb mixture. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's tricky to keep track of everything, but the book really helps.
It's old and worn from use, but full of wisdom. It's taught me most of what I know.
Sage.
Good. You're getting the hang of things.
Once I've memorized the herbs and their ailments, making the mixtures themselves is easy.
It took me a while to get to the point where I could create mixtures from memory. Impressive.
Chamomile. Chamomile. Ginger.
Good. I'll put it with the rest. Great work.
What kind of herbs do you have here? I was hoping I could borrow a key to the main Hathorn house.
Key? Oh, I don't have a key anymore.
You don't?
No, but Alicia does. If you ask her, she'll lend it to you, I'm sure.
I'm sure you've been asked this before, but where were you on the night Hathorn house was burned down?
I was coming home from work, crossing through the cemetery. I could see the orange glow. By the time I got home, it was almost all gone. I called it in.
Were you the first one to call? Anyone see you earlier? Like an hour before?
I was in my shop.
Any customers?
No. Are you trying to say that I burned down the house?
No, I never said that.
Good. I've said it 1,000,000 times, but I'll say it again for your benefit. I'm just glad she wasn't alive to see it. She loved that house, and I loved her. You understand?
Of course. You were the first person to see the fire?
Well, yeah. I was going home, and that's where the fire was.
You know the fire might help you keep your home.
I know that now, but I didn't before. It's a slim chance at best. I'd rather it was whole and shown to be mine by right.
But if that's not an option?
Nothing could make me want to destroy it.
You ever hear rumors about a coven in Salem?
That's just something Olivia says to sell tour tickets. I didn't think you believed in that kind of witch.
So you never heard a rumor? As a kid, maybe.
What are you getting at?
I found a photo of you three from when you were kids.
She kept it?
Do you remember where this photo was taken?
Sure. Well, sort of. It was a shed somewhere close to the neighborhood the Perrys live in. We went there a few times.
So, the three of you used to hang out.
Well, that was long ago. We did dumb things. I wish we hadn't. Far as I know, there's no coven of witches, though.
I forgot to mention, I was speaking with Alicia and she mentioned that she needed to talk to you. It sounded urgent.
Shoot, I forgot I had an appointment with her.
Do you need me to watch the shop?
You would? Really? You sure?
Yeah. I know where all the heavy hitters are. Cinnamon, pow. Ginger, bam. I got it.
Oh, that's great. Thanks.
gosh, these pastries look delicious. Interesting.
Hey, what are you doing? That's private.
I'm sorry, Lauren. Sometimes my curiosity gets the better of me.
So what? It's private. Didn't you hear me?
I'm sorry. I admit, I shouldn't have read it, but would you mind talking about it? It seemed personal. You don't have to worry about me mentioning it to anyone. Please?
Do you know who Teachaba is?
I don't, but I would love to.
The first woman in Salem to be accused of being a witch. Practically everyone around here knows the story. This is her book. The original book of remedies and herb knowledge by Teachaba herself.
Wait, are you saying that book is over 300 years old? Does Tegan know you have this? She would love to have it in her exhibition.
Yeah, I know. But it's for me. Personal use. According to my mother, my biological mother, we are related to Teachaba. She was accused, then miraculously released. Little is known about her life after that. How she learned to write, create this book, but it's important for me to hold on to. I don't have much, but I have this.
Wow, that's incredible. Does anyone else know?
No, I never shared it with anyone. I wanted to keep it safe.
Of course.
Alicia wasn't in her office. I'll just meet with her later. Thank you for watching over my shop, but please, don't touch my things again, okay?
I'll keep my hands to myself, but I'd love to help you make some more remedies, if that's okay, to make up for all of this.
Yes, sure.
I just have a couple more things I wanted to ask you. Everyone says there are ghosts in this town. Is that true? What is it?
You know, I believe the dead stay dead. But I've seen ghosts recently in my own house.
Really? Who?
Wait, you believe me? I thought I was going crazy.
I believe there's an explanation. Who was it?
I don't know. A woman, wearing old clothes like the kind you find in Tegan's museum. I couldn't see her face, and I swear she was real. I could hear her, I could feel her. She smelled like rotten fruit or something. You know that gray, moldy smell that hits you in the back of your throat? Yeah, that.
Huh. That's pretty specific, actually. More specific than anyone else I've talked to.
I saw her in the Hathorn house. Watch out for her. She'll come to you. No doubt in my mind.
You remember where you were 3 nights back?
I was here. I told you already. I have the receipts to prove it. And I'm the only one who works here. Why?
Oh, no, just a related incident. I don't suppose there are any ghost sightings in your shop?
The spirits come and go as they please. I've seen them everywhere around Salem. But I've never seen one operate a point of sale.
Yeah, me neither. You don't feel conflicted, knowing you were related to Tituba and what the house represents?
So I burn it down as revenge for a 300-year-old wrong. That's your thinking.
Tituba seems as much an influence on you as growing up on the estate of the one who accused her. I imagine it's hard to resolve those feelings.
Have you ever seen the Capitol building? Do you know who built that? I never tried to burn that down either.
Meaning?
It's not so simple to set things right.
See you later.
Nancy, hey, how's the investigation going?
Pretty well. You know, it would really help if I could get May to talk to me.
She hasn't given her alibi yet.
No, and everyone seems to have one, except her.
Everyone? Is it possible that it could be someone from outside of town? A visitor or something?
Absolutely. But statistically speaking, crime is rarely a random occurrence.
It's a mystery to me. You have anything you wanted to talk about?
What's the history behind the Hathorn estate?
Right. Well, Judge John Hathorn was born and raised in Salem. His father was a decorated military man who had many real estate holdings throughout New England. And when Judge Hathorn became a justice, he tried to expand those holdings. Much of the land that the Hathorn estate was built on was actually seized property from accused witches.
So awful. I think the land stealing part was even mentioned in Olivia's tour.
Didn't expect her to actually care about the history. At the time, no one made the connection, not even in court documents. But it happened.
Do you think the fire is somehow related to Salem's history with witches?
What do you mean?
Like, is it meant as a symbolic gesture? Because that's how most witches died?
That was a European thing. No, they were more civilized in the New World. We hung our witches. Short drop so they slowly choked to death. A couple more died in custody awaiting trial, and one, an elderly man who refused to testify, was pressed to death.
Pressed?
Yeah. They put a bunch of heavy stones on top of you, over a period of days.
That's horrible.
She did not know the weight until she felt the freedom. Scarlet Letter. Also a descendant of Judge Hathorn. Except Nathaniel Hawthorne was so horrified with his family's history that he added a W to change it.
Wow. The focus on descendants isn't really something they teach you in school.
Yep. We think our world is so much more advanced now, but we have a hard time escaping our past.
Where were you on the night of the fire?
I was at my boyfriend's watching a movie. Here, this is his number. You can ask him.
Have you been dating Damien for a long time?
Yeah, a couple years, I think. I like him. I mean, I really do. He listens to me. Yeah, he's great.
Was he with you the whole night?
I mean, most of the night. I don't think he's capable of arson, if that's what you're suggesting.
You trust him?
Absolutely, 100%. Go ahead, call him. You'll see.
There was this photo tucked away in the guest room.
Now I'm really embarrassed. Such an awkward age.
Is that Olivia and Lauren in the picture with you?
Yeah, we were pretty tight back then. Had to take pictures.
I couldn't tell where it was taken. Do you remember? There were lots of books and candles.
It was probably the... I don't know. Books and candles are everywhere in Salem. It could be anywhere. It was years ago. I don't really remember.
How did Frances Tuttle come to own the property?
Ms. Tuttle bought it 30 years ago, cheap. It was falling apart. The former owners couldn't be located, so it was auctioned. She was a bit of a kooky lady living in a ruin like that, but she was kind. I mean, she took in Lauren like a daughter. That says something about someone, doesn't it?
I agree. Do you remember what you were doing 3 nights ago?
3 days ago? Well, I was probably working here. Why?
You were working at the museum. Can anyone confirm that?
Well, I'm always here.
But was anyone else here?
May was home all day, laying low, and Olivia wasn't here either. I don't know where she was, to be honest. You'll have to ask her.
So no one can confirm that? And you're sure May was at home?
She's barely left the house since the incident. People here treat her like she has an infectious disease. It's awful. And I don't blame her if she wants to sit at home on her phone all day. Ugh. Her parents need to come home. Soon. So, I gotta ask. What do you get out of this?
I get a lot.
Really? You travel around, talk to all these people, deal with all their problems, put yourself in harm's way?
Not always. All right, some of the time. I don't know. It's like there's these small obstacles that I enjoy working on, and they're interesting. But what I really love is the puzzle of humanity. What makes people tick? Why do people do what they do? It's It's always the hardest one to crack, because sometimes we do things that don't make sense. We're inherently irrational. Know what I mean?
You know, there's a theory about why these specific women were persecuted as witches. Some people believe that ergot, which is a fungus that grows in cereal grains, might have gotten into the food supply. It poisons anyone who eats it. Hallucinations, circulation issues, seizures. It would have made people look like they were possessed. Or made the judges think they were doing God's will. Or make the whole town go haywire.
A rational explanation for irrational behavior.
Just a theory. We'll never know. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. Thanks for stopping by.
Can you tell me about the accident May was in when she was a kid?
Why do you need to know that? How is it important?
I didn't think it was, but everyone else sees reason to believe May is the one who burned Hathorn House. So that makes it important, I know.
It started with the arson, and she has other convictions on her juvenile record as well.
What happened?
It was an old shed near our home. May was about 9 or so. She was in it one night. She shouldn't have been. Playing with candles, a lighter, I don't know. It caught fire. She was charged.
She was so young.
I feel responsible. She shouldn't even have been there, and I'm the older sister.
It's not your fault. I'm sorry to upset you. It helps me to understand.
Just don't talk to May about it, please.
Do you have any more information about the Salem witch trials?
Did the exhibitions manage to spark your interest?
They did. I found this display showing the ancestry of the accused, but it didn't seem fully complete. I was wondering if you had more information stored here somewhere.
Well, we do have the upper floor, which is also where I keep most of my accused witches' stuff.
Would it be okay for me to go up there? I'd really like getting a better picture of the history of Salem.
Usually we don't allow people up on the second floor. It's restricted. But maybe just this once I can make an exception. You are here to help, after all. So if you think it would benefit you, feel free to go up there.
Thank you.
I'll open the door for you. It's actually really cool. The stairs are hidden behind a bookcase. Hold on.
Whoa, originals? These books must be Whoa, original?
You're back! Great. Let me guess. More questions?
Spooky how you could tell.
Though it harm none, do as thou wilt.
Okay.
I'm saying I guess it can't do any harm.
I've been going around asking everyone in town where they were on the night of the arson.
The night of the what?
Arson. At Hathorn House?
Why, I have no idea what you're talking about. Kidding, Nancy. Don't look so serious. I was here that night, doing my thing. I think there had to have been at least 20 people who can confirm that. It really stinks that Lauren is going to lose her home.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
So, I've heard ghosts are haunting Salem.
Of course.
You believe it?
How could I not when I've seen them with my own eyes?
Really? Can you describe what you saw?
Sure. It was dark, foggy. I was walking through the cemetery. Or was it the town square? I don't remember, but I do remember a ghost. No, multiple ghosts. Spirits.
And did you ever see any ghosts near Hathorn House?
As a matter of fact, I did. I told you that a coven of witches unleashed them on the town a few years back. They will not rest until they get their vengeance. Let me guess. You can't find proof of a living soul present at the house the night it burned. Maybe the culprit wasn't among the living?
That sounds even harder to prove.
Have you seen The Restless Souls of Salem, Nancy?
I've seen something, but I'm not willing to just believe it's real. I need more.
Be careful. They'll still find you whether you believe in them or not. You might want to avoid the cemetery.
3 days ago, were you doing any witch tours?
3 days ago? No, I was not.
Okay. You remember what you were doing?
Actually, I had won a spa holiday at the Wayfarer Inn over in Marblehead. It was amazing! They used those glass cup things on my back. It was wicked crazy.
Oh. You have any receipts or...
It was all expenses paid. And I'd show you my back, but I'm a quick healer. Witch powers. It looks like it never happened. You know, I had a flyer for the spa, but I threw it away this morning. Sorry, I know I'm not being helpful.
It's okay. You are. Thanks. It's about you, Tegan, and Lauren, when you were kids.
Why are you interested in this? We grew apart. It happens.
I found an old photo from back then. It had the name Coven on it. Look. Was it the one you talk about in your show?
You found this photo at Tegan's house? I didn't peg her as sentimental.
So was it the same one?
Well, yes. Same coven. We heard about it as kids, I guess. We were all into history and witches. We still are.
And yet you've never made up.
I don't get why you care.
Can't help it. It's a mystery, even if you all tell me it isn't. See you later. Hey there, girl. Can't tell if you're supposed to be cute or creepy.
No.
Come on, take a break. You need it.
Jason, I have had these protesters outside my window nonstop for days. I must deal with this situation. The longer it goes on, the worse it looks.
Yeah. Ooh, but I'm buying lunch.
You're buying? Really? With what?
You gotta get over this, Dad. It's not good for you. It's not healthy.
What are you talking about?
You resent me.
I don't resent you, Jason. Miss Drew, please, come in. We'll talk later, okay?
Oh, you have time for her, but not for me.
Please, Jason.
Hi, Jason Danforth.
Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew. You're visiting Salem, yeah? What do you think? Kind of a boring town beneath all the legends.
Jason, come on, we have a meeting.
Actually, it seems like there's a lot going on here.
Well, whenever you're up for some real excitement, look me up.
I'm sorry, he's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life.
Didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps.
Oh, he tried. Didn't have the dedication to follow through with the schooling. Anyway, let's get started.
As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene. Could you give me the code for the keypad?
Information isn't usually available to the public. I'm afraid I can't just take your word for it. I'll have it taken care of.
As you know, I want to investigate the...
Information isn't usually available.
Miss Drew, how can I help you?
Hi, Miss Cole.
Alicia, please.
Oh, same. Nancy.
Great. So what do you need, Nancy? Any more paper clips, staplers, or perhaps a hammer drill?
I'm more of a pneumatic nail gun type myself.
Ha ha, nice.
You have a hammer drill in here.
In my closet. I'm a bit of a home improvement junkie. You have to be when you live in a house built in the 1800s.
Well, thanks, but I don't need any of those things. I do have some questions, though. You mind if I take 5 minutes of your time?
Please. I don't mind.
I'm sure you've heard about the burglary in the court's evidence room.
Yes, unbelievable. You know, I've started asking myself, what is happening to this town? It used to be such a safe place. And now we have arson and break-ins. I'm worried there's a pattern of escalation here. I mean, is this the kind of place I want to raise children in?
Oh, you're trying to start a family.
I mean, yes. But with the amount that I work, when is there any time? I barely have enough time to do my hair in the morning, let alone go on a date after work. And to be honest, the type of people living in a place like Salem is, well, not really what I'm into. How about you?
I have a boyfriend.
Really? He doesn't accompany you on your investigative trips?
Well, he's in college right now, and we see each other when we can.
Uh-huh. You been dating long?
Yeah, a couple of years.
Okay.
No one said it was easy, but we figure out how to make it work.
All I'll say is, most men don't understand what we go through. We have to fight to get a seat at their table, and then they want us to go home and be family makers. Some unsolicited advice from one working woman to another? Don't let his plans get in the way of yours.
They don't. I just met Jason Danforth.
What did you think? Kinda cute, huh?
Not the adjective I would use.
Different tastes.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like a fast food cheeseburger with extra cheese. And I'm more of a home-cooked meal kind of gal.
What can I say? I love cheese.
So you know him well?
I know him. He does odd jobs for me sometimes. Doesn't hurt that he's easy on the eyes. He is kind of dumb, though.
I wouldn't really know, to be honest.
Listen, spare yourself the headache and just avoid him. Trust me, not much substance. He loves his car. That's all you really need to know.
Do you know who has access to the evidence room?
As far as I know, just myself and the judge.
That's interesting.
Look, I don't like saying this, but the judge occasionally leaves the evidence room unlocked. The man even locked himself in his own office, for pity's sake. Not that it matters. I was told the burglar came from the outside.
So it's safe to say you weren't here during the theft?
Are you liking me for this crime, Nancy?
No, I don't like anyone for this crime. Or any other crime for that matter. Just doing my research.
I was not here. I was running errands around town. Busy, busy, busy.
Do you happen to have the code for the evidence room door?
Nope, sorry. He hasn't given that to me yet. And knowing him, he's probably already lost it.
Doing some follow-ups with the arson. Where were you that night?
Are you asking for my alibi?
Well, yes, if you don't mind.
I was at a charity fundraiser, saving the piping plovers. Anyone in this town that works in an official capacity can vouch for me. Are you interviewing any of them?
I don't think I'll need to.
I'm a little bit surprised you'd even ask.
Just being thorough.
I can respect that.
Would you mind telling me what you were doing 3 days ago?
3 days ago. All day, or...?
Well, any info would be helpful.
Actually, why are you interested in this?
I was in Austria 3 days ago and witnessed a theft of a historical artifact there that, surprisingly, I believe is connected to this theft.
I see. I was talking to your father about that case.
Really?
Yeah. We chat sometimes. About work. Mostly.
Okay.
Ask him.
Sure.
You're a regular sleuth, aren't you? Picking up other cases now?
Not exactly. It's kind of related to the Hathorn house.
Yeah, let's see. I was home watching Jason cut the stump out of my front yard.
You hired Jason Danforth for that?
He's cheap, and he can't say no because he needs the money. Plus, I kind of like watching him suffer a little.
I wouldn't know why.
You know, I could use someone like you. A lawyer is always in need of a good private investigator. If your father would be okay with you working for someone else.
Alicia, I'm my own woman. I work for myself. But you've been very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Good. Well, when you solve this case, let's talk.
Do you know Lauren Holt?
Owner of Luminous Infusions. Resident of the Hathorn Estate Carriage House.
So do you know her?
Absolutely. I represent her.
How's the case going?
Well, that's a bit of a confidentiality issue. But you are the daughter of a lawyer. So, without a will, there is no case. No one has been able to find it.
And without the will, the house goes to the state.
The law is the law. I can try to get a delay. But we've already delayed twice, and the state doesn't care that someone lives there. It's a tough world out there.
I spoke with Lauren. She mentioned you have a key.
A key?
To the Hathorn house.
It's the only copy. Don't lose it. Oh, and this really isn't supposed to be in your hands. If someone finds you with it, I might have to say you stole it.
I'll make sure to be discreet. Thanks.
Here to help, Nancy. Hey, next time, please knock before entering, okay?
Why did you bring your hammer drill to the office?
Well, after the burglary, we realized that this place was in dire need of higher security. I ordered the keypad online and used the drill to mount it. I just keep forgetting to bring the drill back home with me.
That's impressive.
Yeah, still ended up calling a professional when the thing wouldn't stop beeping.
What did you mean when you said the people here are not your type?
Oh, you probably know by now. You've been around town, right?
I have.
It's all people with minds as small as the town itself. I don't mean to sound harsh, but you can only meet so many with the same mindset before you see a pattern.
That's interesting. Did something happen?
Oh, nothing much. Sometimes I just wish this place would be a bit bigger, you know? More progressive. Imagine a revitalized town.
Do you think that could happen?
A woman can dream.
See you later.